Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Jaime Messina, and I am a mindset and empowerment coach. And this is the Stories We Tell podcast. This is actually the first time I'm doing it live here on screen for YouTube as well. So, hi, welcome. Thank you for coming. Today, we're talking about something pretty important. I don't know how many of you are still wanting to manifest true love into your life, or really manifest anything at all. Because today, I'm going to give you 3 tips to manifest love into your life, the love that you want. But really, you can use these tips for anything that you want to manifest. First and foremost, the word manifest, I think a lot of people get turned off from immediately. They're like, oh, that's woo, that's magic, it's this, that. No, I'm going to give you brain hacks. I think that's a better way to put it, although then some people are also thrown off by that. I'm going to let you know secrets about how your brain works so that you can utilize those secrets to make things happen in your life quicker, more intentionally, and just know how to use it. Because right now, so many people are walking around with a computer operating system that is right here in between their ears, not realizing that's what it is. They're just letting it flow. It's like just going into the store, picking a computer, and just using whatever's there, or like getting a phone and just using it, not realizing that you can customize it to the way that you want, and make it easier for yourself so that things happen if you just tweak a few things or download this app or remove this app, right? Like that's what it's all about when it comes to quote unquote manifesting, which, like I said, is a word I struggle with, but it really is. To manifest just means to make something appear. Now, when we say it like that, some people think that we mean magic. We don't. Your brain is a freaking amazing tool, y'all. It's amazing, but it's also a blessing or a curse based on if you know how to use it or not. But listen, before we get into all that, if you haven't hit subscribe yet, please go ahead and do that. And if you find value in today's episode or any of the episodes that you hear, go ahead and write a review, leave a 5-star review. If you're watching this on YouTube, write a comment, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, so we can interact, we can share this with more people. I have a goal of rippling out to at least 1 million people and sharing these things, these tips, this knowledge that I have so that y'all's life can go more intentionally, so that you are actually in the driver's seat of your life. And not only are you in the driver's seat of your life, but you picked the car, you picked where you're going, all the things. You're not just like thrown into an Uber and you end up where you end up. Okay, that's what we want. That's my goal in life. My job is to help people figure out what they want and then learn how to use their brain so that they can intentionally make those things happen rather than just float through life and then be like, oh, well, life passed and that was, wish it were better or whatever. No, you have the choice. You can do it. That's what we're going to talk about today. So thank you if you're still here. I appreciate that. And here we go. So manifesting love. And the reason why I'm talking about love per se is it's February, it's Valentine's Day. A lot of people are wanting love in their life. And the reason why I say like this is you can use this to manifest anything, but it's not just romantic love. It could be love for yourself. It could be friendships. It could be, just relationships that you already have. All of these things can work in that sense. And I'm going to give you these 3 tips to start utilizing today so that you can make this stuff happen a lot quicker. If that's good with you. If you want what you want faster rather than slower, if you want what you want, like not like maybe magic, but I'm going to help you with that today. So the first tip that I'm going to give you, and so that you can manifest love or something into your life. This one will be specific about love, but let's apply this also to friendships or that. Um, you got to stop manifesting a person and start manifesting an experience. So what do I mean by that, right? And this is interesting. I do have a 10-day Manifest Your Soulmate Mastermind coming up, and I do have people make a list of what they want in a partner, and a lot of that is physical attributes or like things that. But here's the deal. I'm gonna give you the trick on that. So most people try to manifest a specific person or type, right? But your nervous system doesn't respond to resumes. It responds to feelings. So is it important to get clear on what you want? Yes. That's part of the process that we do. You get clear on what you want. Like you make a list on, I want somebody who is, has a good job or who enjoys the water and boating because I'm into that and like all those different things. That's important. That's the first step. But the way that you really exponentially create this experience is by manifesting the experience. So you want to have emotion behind that. So once you get clear on your list, it's important to then visualize that or think about it. But when you think about it, um, feeling it as well. So how do you want love to feel in your body? Like what emotions go with it? Are you feeling joy? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling comfort? Are you feeling excitement? But how do you want it to feel in your body? What does safety feel like to you? Is it that, somebody checks in every morning, you're having conversations? Like we want to feel the feelings that go along with it. So yes, the list is important, but it's the feelings, the emotions that come with it. And then what does consistency feel like to you? Like go on. So one of the things that I'll have people do is once they get clear on what they want, and I want them to get clear on what they want, but honestly, physical attributes isn't a huge piece of that, but it is important. Like if you're like, well, I really do like somebody who likes to get dressed up really nice all the time. You're not going to want to, look for somebody if that's something that's important to you and that's a value of yours. You might not, that might be on your list, or who takes good care of themselves, who, because maybe that's you and you've noticed that it doesn't really mix. Now, that being said, I'm always open to all types of things, but it's good to get clear on what you want, but that's only one small piece of it. The emotion is what matters. It's thought plus emotion that then turns into these things. Like your mind is a powerful tool, y'all. And the emotion of it is the key piece that really kicks it into gear. So, yes, getting clear on what you want and the clarity piece of this and how we get clear on what we want in the mastermind is important, but it's the emotion that I want you to really focus on. So you get clear on what you want. So then you can visualize this person, but then what's the emotion that you're feeling when you're together? How does your relationship feel calm and safe? And do you have conversations that excite you and different things like that? That is something that's going to exponentially create the manifestation process if I'm making sense. But even if like you want to manifest a car, this is something I would say is to get clear on the type of car that you want. Then what does it feel like when you're driving it? Is it the freedom you feel? Is it the excitement? Is it the wind blowing through your hair? Are you feeling a sense of calm and joy because your dog's in the passenger seat looking out the window? And like the emotion piece is crucial. So get clear on what you want. But in addition to that, what does the experience feel like in your body? What are the emotions that come up with it? Okay. So that part is a big part. So that's tip number one. Stop just focusing on manifesting a person and manifest an experience. Okay. Tip number two that I have for you is about my favorite thing within our brain, which is our reticular activating system, your RAS. It's always filtering. Okay. That's tip number two. And I'm going to tell you why. So if you don't know what the RAS is, your RAS is the gatekeeper between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. I like to call it the bouncer at Club Your Brain, the bouncer at Club You, because we have millions of bits of information coming at us per second. The problem with that is our conscious mind can only interpret or process between like 60 and 120 bits of information per second. So if you have millions of bits of information coming at you per second and your conscious mind can only process between 60 and 120 bits, what do you do? That would be like mass overload, right? It would be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that's where the RAS comes in, your reticular activating system, the bouncer at Club Your Brain. Um, it has a list of who they're going to let into the club because there's only a limited amount of spots to come to your conscious mind, right? So how does it determine who's on that list? It's one, what's going to keep you safe, what's going to keep you alive, and what is of interest to you. All the other things are going to be filtered out. That's why the clarity piece is important. You make a list of what you want. Why? Because when you tell your brain, oh, I really love this specific car, then what happens? All of a sudden you're seeing the car everywhere. You're like, what the hell? I said I like the car, now everybody has it? No, the car was always there. It was just so many bits of information coming at you per second, your brain wasn't registering it. It was just in your subconscious. Okay, but now it's in your reticular activating system. You got led into the club, and so now you see it everywhere. That's what happened with Olivia, y'all, my dog. I really wanted a long-haired mini uh, dachshund, and I stated that. And next thing you know, everywhere I look, everybody has a dachshund all of a sudden. What the hell? This is crazy. I'm looking out the window as we're doing this, and there's one literally across the street. A guy is walking one. But like, it's not that they weren't there before. It's that my brain wasn't processing that information because I hadn't yet put it into my reticular activating system. So how does this work for you? What is the science behind it? Like, how does that help? Well, um, when you have that in your RAS, now you know what you're looking for. And your brain is constantly scanning for things that are going to support that. So you're going to notice maybe something somebody says, or you're going to see things you didn't normally see. You're going to encounter experiences or conversations or different things that now align with that because you're consciously aware of it. And by the way, I say this every episode, is super important. Your subconscious mind controls 95 to 97% of everything you think, say, feel, and do. So, if you want to be more intentional, you got to bring it to your conscious mind too. Even though you like, because then you can catch yourself in it, right? So, in your RAS, you got to put what you want. So, your RAS is always filtering. What do you want? Here's the deal. What you focus on is what you get, right? What you tell yourself is important to you is what you get. So if you say, I would really love a person who's health oriented, who loves to exercise and eat good food, who is just really into to keeping themselves healthy and they're outdoors and active. Now, you, for one, are going to be like, okay, that's what I like too. Or if it's not, you got to start doing those things. And then you're out there, you're going to be more aware of people who might be single, who are in those areas as well, and start conversations. Or you might overhear someone talking about how, I just broke up with somebody, they weren't aligned with my health goals. Or, it opens your mind. You're going to start to be aware of things that you weren't before because it wasn't in your RAS. Make sense? The RAS is the gatekeeper, the bouncer to club your brain. Lets in the things that are of interest to you and the things that are going to keep you safe. And that is intentionally using the RAS when you get clear on the things that you want, not just in a partner, but in life. Now you are putting that in your RAS, and therefore, because your brain is always looking for evidence that supports your beliefs, and your belief is, I would really love, and since you're feeling, man, it's going to bring me a lot of joy. I'm going to feel great when I have this partner who is a XYZ aligned with this, that, and the other thing. Now your brain is scanning to align with that. It's going to notice things that it didn't before. And you think if you notice some things that you didn't before, that might connect you with people that you maybe wouldn't connect with before, which might lead you to new relationships, friendships, which lead to something more? Potentially. Yes, a lot more than if you didn't, right? That's the thing. On the other hand, be careful what you let into your RAS. Because if you let in, you know what? I always attract unavailable people. Now that's what's in your RAS. And you'll unconsciously gravitate and notice, or notice this and then gravitate toward them without even realizing that it's an unavailable person, that you're clearly, when you say, man, I always attract unavailable people, you're basically saying, I don't want that. But your brain doesn't know the difference. Now that's what it's going to let in. Make sense? Good. I hope you're still with me on that. Um, these two things together are super powerful tools when you use them correctly, right? It's a huge insight, both of these. If you start looking for evidence of emotionally available people instead, y'all, you train your brain to see more of that, more of what you want. So ask yourself, what am I telling myself that I want? And like I said, if you're saying, I don't want this, or why do I always attract this? That's not you telling your brain that that's what you don't want, because your brain is focused or recognizes what you're focusing on. And if you're focusing on the unavailable people, then you will get more of the unavailable people. So you got to focus on what you do want, okay? An emotionally available person. All right, huge insight, right? Train your brain to see what you want more of. All right, and the third tip and the most important part of all of these is to take aligned action. Okay, manifestation is not a passive thing. Parts of it are in the sense of when you're getting clear on things, but It's not passive. You don't just wait. Somebody will always say, well, I thought that, it would just come to you. If the universe is going to give you something, it will. And I'm like, sure, but like take time out of the equation. So you want a new partner that fits these things, but you never want to leave your house or go on a dating app or go and introduce yourself to people, then, are you ordering food? So maybe you're hoping that it's like the pizza delivery person, because how are you going to interact and meet people? That you have to take aligned action, right? So, what can you do if you're ready to manifest a person and you're doing those two tips like I just said? You also have to take aligned action. That might be updating your dating profile to reflect who you are now, not the past, or to just make sure that it's reflecting who you are. So you're attracting the people you want to attract. Maybe you say no sooner. That's aligned action. You're going out with people and you recognize right off the bat, this person does not align with me. Instead of allowing certain things and be like, oh, maybe this flag's orange, or, we don't align on this, but maybe that could change. No, you just know that's not aligning with what I want. And so instead of wasting my time on this, I'm going to say no and I'm going to move on to the next, right? Maybe it's you stop the texting first if you're the one that chases, right? That's some aligned action. You want to be the one where you stand in your truth, let them text you. Maybe it's you leave situations that don't meet your standards. You hold yourself to that instead of just, oh, I'm going to brush it under the rug, or it can't be that bad, or there's just so many other unavailable people out here, so I'm going to stay in this situation that I don't really love because it's convenient or it makes me feel like I'm not alone. Okay, well, but you're not happy. So leave the situation if it doesn't meet your standards. You got to take aligned action to align with the things that you actually want, right? Clarity without action, y'all, keeps you in fantasy. Action without clarity keeps you in chaos. You heard? You need both. You need both clarity and action. Okay? Clarity, emotion, and action. All of those things. So those are three tips to get you started on the manifestation process. But if you really want to get into all this stuff and get clear on it, I am hosting a 10-day Manifest Your Soulmate Mastermind starting on February 16th. And I would love for you to come join us. We're going to talk about different tips and tricks and things, and you're going to learn about the brain and how it works for you and how to make it work for you to get more intentional on the things that you want, get more clarity around the things that you want, and then take more aligned action toward those things so that they manifest into your life. You know? And it doesn't just have to be love. This one's called soulmate, sure, but anything that you learn in this can be applied to things that you want in your life. Right? All right. It's a 10-day program. You get 5 days on, the weekends to catch up. Each day, you're going to get a short video and an assignment that's going to teach you something about your brain and then give you something to do to practice that. We're also going to have 2 live coaching Zooms with me on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. So, and if you aren't able to make them, just by the way, we will record those and you will get the recording. But if you really want to get clear on how to just really use this tool that we have between our ears to work for you in this life and not against you, to get really just to know how to make it work for you rather than just go through the motions, to skirt through life, just be like, oh, that would be nice, but not for people like me. I'm about to teach you those things, but you got to join me in the 10-day mastermind. And so you can check out the description area and there'll be a link to tell you more about that and how you can get signed up. But it's important, these things, our brain is a crazy ass tool. It's amazing, but it can work for us or against us. This is what separates us from all the other animals on this planet, but it also can be our biggest detriment. If you aren't clear on how it works and what you can do to make it work for you, then, I mean, in my opinion, that's just a waste. I'm happy that I learned about all of this stuff because it's important. And especially if you want your life to change. If you're not happy with where you are right now, these things are highly useful to make those changes happen. So if you liked what you heard today, tell me what the best part is, what you're going to implement today. Tell me in the comments. I would love to hear from you what you're going to do with this. And if you're excited or have questions about the Manifest Your Soulmate Mastermind, you can let me know about those as well. I'll get them answered. If not, just go to the link, check it out, get signed up, and I will see you there. But let's use this tool between our ears to work for us in the very best way possible, the quickest way possible. Let's get intentional. Let's get clear on the things that we want. and make those things happen through getting intentional and clear and also taking aligned action so that you, instead of uh, continuing to be at the place of where you don't want to be, you start acting and being and doing the things that are going to align you with the things that you actually want. All right? I hope that you enjoyed today and that it was helpful, and I will talk to you all very soon.